Chapter 2, Section 1, Creating Your Movement, the 3 requirements, right? The purpose of a course is to infinitely scale and leverage you, right, into an omnipresent fulfillment machine, because the inherent restraint, right, the bottleneck of one-on-one consulting is that there's only 24 hours in a day, right? You can only talk to one person one-on-one for 24 hours in a day, and that's assuming you don't sleep, right? You want to be able to personally consult, quote unquote, one-on-one without it actually taking any of your real time, right? And this is best done with video. No matter how many times a video plays, right, it can keep playing and keep playing, and this is the truest form of efficiency, right? But to do this, you have to connect with people on a personal level, right? Logic does not sell, emotion sells, and logic justifies those purchase decisions. And to connect with people, right, you have to become what's called an attractive character, right? Someone that people look up to, somebody that people respect, and somebody that people want to become. And I first learned about the concept of an attractive character from an entrepreneur named Russell Brunson, and it totally changed my life, right? But this idea has been around for years, right? And I'm sure that the point, it's a point worth noting that I first heard about it from Russell Brunson, and I'm sure at one point he first heard about it from someone else, and it might have been called, the magnetic character or something else. But the point is, right, that's the beauty of the knowledge economy. What matters is you teaching your audience and giving them that aha moment, right? That light bulb turning on in their brain that prompts them to change their life. Because all marketing, in a sense, right, is just recirculation and evolution and reorganization of the same base principles. And similarly, the attractive character is something in which you need to harness the power. Before you tell me that you're not an attractive character, read on and remember something, right? What you believe becomes real with enough consistent action. So, number 1, the attractive character, which is you. To properly market yourself from the beginning, you have to become the attractive character, right? The attractive character, which is you, has already gone from what your customer's current situation is, right, their current pain, to your customer's desired situation, right? The attractive character is confident, right, knowledgeable, and helpful, always knows the answer, right? The attractive character is the person with the answers. Something that's really hard for people, and it was hard for me, and it's hard for all of our course creators, is you go from the person who's constantly asking the questions to the person that people are looking to for help, right? And remember, if you don't know the answer, you don't have to pretend or lie, right? Do the research, right? You have the Jin mentality now. Look on YouTube, figure it out, and then help people with everything that you do know. And as you answer questions, you'll start to have more experience and you'll start to know the answers to those same questions that new people are going to ask when they come in. Because remember, a basic willingness to Google is what makes millionaires. And I'm so serious when I say that, right? So an example, someone trapped in their 9-to-5 job, right, depressed in the cubicle, to traveling to Southeast Asia and working from a laptop on the beach in Thailand, living the life that you want to live, living your dreams. Look back at your life, right, and your childhood and the negative things that you experienced and see how you can turn those around to be lessons that you're now thankful for in order to make you who you are today, right? And any pictures you have, any evidence, the better. Like if you have a picture of you looking sad, wearing your suit, sitting in your cubicle, that's perfect. And for example, I grew up poor, right? I was working 80 hours a week as a corporate drone. I lacked experience. I didn't have any entrepreneurial friends or family. I got told I was dumb in school. I didn't achieve anything in life. But I'm thankful for this because it made me hungry to prove myself and make a stand toward reforming education and employment, right? And what milestones can you build into your story? Because this all becomes important. Your attractive character, your story. Because people don't buy your course because of the content. They buy your course because they relate to you and because you're genuine. And we're going to talk about this deeply in this section or in this chapter. So for example, if you have a 9-to-5 job, take a photo of your cubicle and your desk right now and in your dress clothes, because I was an 80-hour-a-week accountant, right? I was anxious, I was depressed. Make it as meaningful as possible because you're going to be repeating this a lot of times as you grow. And your story is the most important thing, right? The closer other people out there can compare their current situation to, what was once yours, the better. People can relate to your story, and that is why they buy. Because you're in their shoes, right? And now you have the life they want. Remember, it doesn't matter how good your content is. if people can't relate their current situation to getting to your current situation, right? Their desired situation. And so what's the next milestone in your story, right? The way that you want it to pan out. Because think about it like this, right? I decided to start my own Amazon business and I grew it quickly to $1,000 a day within the first 3 months. And then I quit my 9-to-5 job to go all in, right? And I could show a picture of me traveling through Asia, right? That's the next milestone. Another example, I grew my e-commerce business to $50,000 a month in the first year. I moved out of my apartment and into my dream home, or it could be, me buying a new car or showing a sales a screenshot, right? So you went from a situation that your target customers are currently in, right? What they're experiencing, what they're suffering through, what their pain is, right? Being trapped in a 9-to-5 job, not making enough money, not being able to take vacations, not having the time freedom to, play with their kids and watch their kids grow up, right? Every good story has more or less the exact same underlying conflict, an interesting, captivating person who is pursuing a desire, right? Who then faced adversity, seemingly insurmountable obstacles, but made it work, right? And did so from a situation where your customers are currently in and got to a desirable situation where your customers want to be, right? What their desires are. And I'm saying your customers because you will have a course. If this is your second time watching the Digital Course Secrets training, right? You will have a course. You'll start to be setting up one. And so you will have customers as you start to build, your social media presence and all of that. So that's number one, right? Building your attractive character, being somebody that people want to learn from, being somebody who has, who transitions from being the one asking all the questions to being the one who has the answers. And if you don't have the answers, being the one who's willing to research, right? Who's slightly more willing to Google search the answer to things to actually, be the one who has the answers to questions. Number two is future-based, right? Your movement and your course topic, that you create needs to be future-based. If you look at all the campaign slogans from all the most successful presidential runs, right, you can learn a lot from how politicians speak and how they angle things. They're master marketers, right? At the essence of what they do is marketing to the masses to try to get elected, right? All of what they say is future-based. People have to believe that the future can be different from their current situation, and to get people to believe in something and in you and in your movement, right? Your movement needs to be centered around the future. Future-based objectives are everywhere in successful campaigns, right? Look at presidential slogans. They're always future-based, right? The change we need, make America great again, right? The idea of beginning in the future is so much easier to kind of stomach than the thought of the hard work and effort that it takes to improve yourself now. Right? The idea of a new beginning in the future is so much easier for your customers to think about than the thought of improving yourself now, especially in ways that your customers have already tried and failed, because then they associate that improvement with failure, right? And again, a new opportunity. Your movement has to not only be future-based, but it has to be branded as a new opportunity, right? People who are trying to lose weight, they've already tried diets before, they failed, they associate that failure with what they've tried, pre-existing opportunities that currently exist. So creating a new opportunity generates excitement instead of dread, which is vital. It's just like Starbucks. When they came into America with fancy coffee right now, every American is lining up, queued out the door to spend $5 or more on coffee. But if you'd asked people a couple of years ago if they would ever have spent $5, $6 on a cup of coffee, they would have said, heck no, right? The same thing with the iPhone. iPhone analysts said that no one would pay $1,000 for the phone, right? But the iPhone wasn't a phone. It wasn't just a phone. It was a new experience, right? That's the difference. That's the difference in thinking. You're not looking at something as it is. You're looking at something as what it is becoming, right? And so I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and let's get to the next.